Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. It is apparent that it is just too nice of a day to be in that cave. I had the day off. I'm gonna go do a little walk and talk and go see some classic cars. We're just gonna go see what we can see. I'm not gonna put my mouth in. I'm gonna leave my tooth out. My mouth stays in, but my tooth comes out. So October, hopefully that'll be the last time you see this. But yeah, look at those flowers. Let's get out of here and see some new flowers, shall we? Okay, we're out to see some pretty flowers, but look at the shine on that car. I don't know if this camera will even pick it up, but that's a hot pink if I've ever seen one. Look at that beauty, convertible. You never know what you're gonna see here, but you've seen that here first. Hot pink, whatever kind of roadster that is. But yeah, we got some new landscaping here. Flowers, nice. Okay, let's get to where we're going. Okay, I'm not gonna call OSHA or I'm not gonna call the safety violation, but I'm always inspecting. And you can see right here, I'm gonna turn this camera around and zoom in. And that ladder is not at a proper angle. You should not be climbing a ladder at that angle. That angle is pretty sufficient. I will accept that angle. It's less than a 45, but that is unacceptable. What do you do? Okay, I'm gonna give this man, he's an old man, I'm gonna give him a pass. But that flag has seen better days. You almost wanna replace it for him. But this man is in his 90s, I do believe. He could be even a veteran. So I will give him a pass on the tattered, they call that a tattered flag. I do have my mouth in just in case I run into one of my neighbors. But yeah, here's this roundabout. I don't like this roundabout here. Look at the design of it. The cars come flying through. Of course, as soon as I do that, the government car is not going to do that. And the more I stand on this corner, people are going to slow down. But my problem with this roundabout, watch when this next car comes through, it's almost a straight shot. So they do not slow down. Watch this car. It just comes barreling through. Look at that. So if you're in a roundabout here, you better be careful. And that car went all the way around the roundabout. So just to prove my point, yeah, we'll wait for the next car to come barreling through here. And I'll stand away from the corner. But now I'm not going to even do that. Here, watch this car. That's a pretty fast car coming. Watch this. Yeah, that's not even a roundabout. They just fly right through there. So bad design on the roundabout. I'm going to walk through here before I get to my final destination. So if you're right here, look at this roundabout. You got a straight shot. Look at these cars. They come flying. And look at where the roundabout is, right here. So you're just going straight. Guess what you're doing? You're flying straight through there. And if you're coming from that way, I'm surprised there hasn't been more accidents there. See how people just fly right through there? Flying right through. Bad design of a roundabout. Look at this one guy wants to come through and this one's stopping. Yeah, it's a bad design. There's going to be definitely an accident or two there before you know it. But yeah, the old new roundabout that's supposed to be safer is definitely not safer. I think that roundabout is more dangerous. There used to be like a 5-way stop sign there, which made everybody more confused because it was more than a 4-way. But there you go. The 5-way stop turned into a straightaway roundabout. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, where's the complaint department? Oh, check out this rig. Now, is this legal? Do you park in your RVs? Look at that. Could be 2 tenants. Tenant 1, tenant 2, couple tenants in there. And the neighbor said, well, okay, if you do it, then we're going to do it. So That just goes to show you. If your neighbor does it, then your other neighbor does it, then all of a sudden you got a house or a block full of RVs. All right, let's go. Okay, I've come across more of these. You see that? That's not for camping. That is definitely not for camping. You could see that is, look at the weeds around it. So they don't even take those RVs out. That's more like a extra rental space. So I don't know how our Alameda lets them get away with that, but they do. And here, look at the sidewalk runs out here, and you gotta walk through this driveway here, or you can walk through their business. But here you gotta stay on the concrete. Look at, here's where the sidewalk. But here is where Alameda's Bay Farm. I'm here at the Alameda Bay Farm, and that's like the only project, Section 8. This is usually a pretty expensive area to live in, but this is like, all this right here is like, I've delivered Meals on Wheels here. So it's almost like a little low income projects. So I'll turn the camera around. You can see here, look at it. It's got a date on it for sure. So it's got the palms, got the people hanging out outside. So it's definitely got, today is trash day, so it is loud around here. Keep it loose, it says, keep it loose. Whatever that means. All right, so here it is. This is the Alameda, I don't want to call it like the projects, but it is, like I said, this is all neighborhood over here, and I guess Section 8, because like I said, I delivered Meals on Wheels here, and here, I'll just give you a glance. Yeah, so these are affordable apartments here at this disclosed location here. So I don't want to keep the camera on the guy that's watching me, but I definitely, they live right next to the Alameda golf course here. Oh boy, the alarm's going off. I didn't do it. Okay, false alarm. All right, so yeah, like I said, they are right next to the apartments, golf courses. And there's a man right here. Yeah, he said, take a picture of me. Well, that's what they used to do in the old days. You used to take a picture. You say, hi, mom, when the camera was on. But not anymore. People say, what's that camera for? But look at this, classic car alert. I'm going to tell you, there's a guy around the corner, and all these are his cars. So look at this baby. So just like the RVs, people take advantage of the street cleaning situation. Around here, there is no street cleaning. So check out this baby. I'll give it this is a Yogi, 1968. I know a Mustang when I see a Mustang, but there you go, 1968 Mustang with those low profile tires. You see those tires? What are you yapping about? He must have a crow alarm. But look at that. This thing has a tow hitch. Wow. So a 1968 Ford Mustang made by Ford. All right, that crow is, I think he's yapping on me. I brought some extra peanuts. So right here, this man, he lives in a house down there, but here's all his classic cars. He has them lined up. He usually has more right here, so I don't know where they're at. Got to be careful. This is a Galaxy 500, 67. I can tell it's a 67 because of the 67 Ford. This guy must like Ford Galaxies and Ford Mustangs. So classic car alert. And this one's a convertible. So he's got some records in here. He must take this out to car shows. But yeah, there it is. Class of 1967 Ford Galaxy. That's the original paint too, I bet you. So, And here's another one of his cars. I tell you, he has more. Boy, you guys are loud. I wonder if I threw them a peanut if they'd be quiet. No, they're in fighting mode. They're not in eating mode. Okay, what do we got here? What kind of classic car is this? This could be a 1976. I don't know. No, I don't know what car that is, but it's a Buick. That is a Buick. So I don't see the year on this one. There's his car club, the East Bay Hoods, or Hounds. I think it said Hounds. But I don't see the year on this one. But it's got the original paint too. So what kind of car is this? I didn't give it its proper name. Okay, let's walk this baby. It came from Michigan or Mexico. I don't know. Okay, this one is a Buick. That's right. All right, we got the Buick. Ow, it's got a big dent in the back. I don't like that. You see that big dent? Ouch. All right. Anyway, I'm not buying it. I'm just looking at it. So he's got 3 cars right here, and we're not even done yet. Usually they're parked up right here. He must have had them out for the 4th of July. And I don't know where the video camera is, but it's always on. Taylor Swift? Yeah, that guy usually has classic cars all around the corner. So I don't know where his cars are. Oh, but I do see one in the distance. And we're walking onto it now. So usually, yeah, I can see 2. So that's 5 total. But he has like, I want to say at least 10 cars. So double this amount. So if you're the neighbor around here, do you get upset? I don't know. Or maybe you just let people be. But look at this classic car alert with a custom paint job. Oh man. Zoom in on that. That's what we used to call a station wagon. Look at that beauty. You can't fit another flame on that thing. This needs to get the full. Is there a date on this one? I don't know. But that is a beauty. Look at that. Oh, it's got some bugs and birds on it, but boy. Oh, that's a 1962 Ford. There you go. You see it. So he's got a 1962 station wagon Ford. That's right. So he's got a classic car everywhere. Look at this, is called a country sedan. So a 19, whatever that is, there's that old Ford shaggin' wagon with a nice little emblem. Oh, and behind it is this classic. Wow, look at that original paint. This is a Crestline. A Crestline. Now, is it a Buick? Because he likes Buicks. So what kind of Los Press? This is a Ford. Ford. And it says Ford-O-Matic. Wow. This is the most classic car out of all of them, isn't it? That's the most classic car out of all of them. That's a beauty. Coastline. And it's got the old speaker. Remember sitting in the back of that as a kid, as a kid? Oh, that's the most, and he's got the table tray in it where you use the sock hop. So there you go, a couple classic cars right there. The shaggin' wagon with all the flames. And look at the hood ornament on that. Yeah, the Coastline. That takes a zoom in right there. That's when everything was a jet. So we got a there it is, 51. 1951 Ford Coastliner or something. A Coastline. Crestline. Come on, get it right. Wow, there's your spare tire. So there's 5 classic cars and a couple missing. I counted too fast. Look at, I knew he had more. There's another Mustang, Ford Mustang. This guy's is all about the Mustang. And this is the same owner. This guy owns all these cars. And it seems like all the tags are up. But there you go. 6 classic cars all in one trip. What year is this one? I don't know. I don't know. But he definitely knows how to park with no camera. So there you go. 6 classic cars. And he stays on that side of the, he doesn't come down here. He does not come down here, but he might as well own that block down there. Okay. So we got somebody visiting for 4th of July. This is not homeless or anything because they got their bikes out. They got that nice little camper out. They got their stove out. I could have said that too quick. You never know. You never know. Oh my goodness, look at the little kitty. How you doing, girl? I didn't mean to bother you. Scaredy cat. Someone's feeding it and watering it. There's the bowl. Good for them. Whoever's feeding that cat, good for you. All right, let's go. Oh, one more classic Harler. As soon as 2 for the price of 1. We got the Karma Kia and the Volkswagen with a rack. Check that baby out. And it's for sale. That could be yours for $3,500. Wow. You want a Volkswagen for $3,500 and a Karma Kia. Made by Volkswagen, believe it or not. All right, there you go. The Karma Kia and the Volkswagen. $3,500, that seems cheap for a classic car. In a world where everything's expensive, that seems cheap. Okay, Godfrey Park. What's back there? Let's find out. No, don't do it. The gate's open. Okay, it's more than one time where I've come around the corner and someone's sleeping right here. Is there someone sleeping right there? Nope. This is a good spot to sit and waste your day away. No one can see you from the streets. And yeah, you can. So if you want a place to just whittle around your day, well, don't come here because that spot's usually taken. All right, what is back here? They're practicing for the big leagues. We're gonna go look at some golfers, but it's always good to see kids playing. Let's do a zoom in on that awesome teacher. All right, quit filming the kids in the shadows at a park. Okay, it wasn't nothing nefarious. All right, twist this camera around and hey, batter, strike. Okay, it is apparent I've never seen anybody tee off from these back tees. Usually they tee off from right there. This guy might be a professional. Where did his ball go? No one ever knows until they go and find it. But I did not even know those were back tees there. That's where the real professionals. So I will follow that guy in the white shirt in this, and we will see how well he hit that ball. He's got a dog with him, so he must be one of those recreational golfers. Okay, so that's the thing about golf. It's so frustrating that you don't know where your ball goes. You lose balls. You got to be honest. That's the hardest part about golf, is being honest. All right. Where'd he go? Where he stops, nobody knows. I'll find him and I'll let you know. Okay, it is apparent the guy with the ball that shot from way back there is really good because he's on the green. Is that the American flag? I can't see it blowing, or is that just a regular flag? But yeah, it's just a regular flag, but Yeah, that guy that shot from those back greens, he knows what he was doing because his ball wasn't right there in the middle. He hit it way on the green, so that's very impressive. Most impressive. So if you want to learn how to fly, you have to go around and around and around and around. I don't know how many times, but maybe 500. So if you live around an airport, you're going to hear that little plane take off and take on and take off. Sometimes they have two planes. Yep, there's the other test plane right as I speak. So that's the sound you hear. Not only the planes leaving, but the teaching planes. That plane's going to just do a loop and a loop and a loop. That could even be a private plane taking off. I don't know. Yeah, that one's taking off. That's not doing a looper. Made me a liar, plane. But that other one didn't. Wait a second, wait a second. I'm not a liar. That is a learning plane. You see it? Turning. There you see it. Turning in the sky, heading. That's just doing a loop. I knew I recognized the sound of that thing. Thought I was going crazy for a minute. All right, let's watch one more golfer and get out of here. Are you seeing what I'm seeing right now? Is that a female? I better get this camera steady and get it right, because you got that zoom in. You got to zoom in. Yeah, that man is breaking the #1 rule in golf, bringing, oh, I was going to say his wife, but you never know nowadays. Let's see how good she is. She's going to stroke. Is she going to pick up the ball? It's going to be at least a 2-stroker from there, right? Ladies, do you know? 1 stroke, 2 stroke. Yep, from that long, it's a 2-stroker. Definitely Asian. Maybe not. Don't judge somebody by the way they walk. I will say this, that is keeping her young and skinny. You don't see too many fat golfers. Yeah, I give her mad respect for pushing that cart or pulling it. Let's see what she does. She looks like a pusher to me. But got to cover up out here in this heat. Yep, she's a pusher. Okay, this is another little area where I've seen people relaxing in the park. So it is a park and people are supposed to relax under trees, but are they supposed to sleep under the trees? I don't know. But I'm going to walk underneath this tree that is notorious for people camping out at. Now, if you lived in this house right here, this is where, well, it looks like some critters can get underneath there, cats or something. But yeah, so if you live in that house right there, and people, you got that window right there, and you got people just kind of camping here and sitting here and relaxing here. Now I could see if there was a game or some kind of something going on, but yeah, you don't need to be camping there. Day camping. But who am I? It's called a park, a public park. So who am I to say you can't be sleeping underneath those trees. Now, is there some kind of ordinance from sleeping under a tree? I don't know. But somebody's cutting it. So somebody's cutting this grass and taking care of this park. So who am I to say that people can't be day drinking and day sleeping under a tree? Well, I guess if you're drinking, you're not sleeping, you're day passing out. And if you think you're just going to be dumping your trash here, think again. Well, I've made me a liar. I was going to say they're usually locked up like that. But it's 4th of July weekend. Taylor Swift. So here's a fact and a known fact. In California, they have to put these cages around their plumbing backflow preventers or their plumbing valves because the homeless are stealing the copper. So they just cut that off and steal the copper and brass. So whenever you see a cage around that, that's not to keep people from turning it off, it's to keep people from cutting it and stealing the copper and metal. Yeah, I would say that it's time for a paint job when the paint is literally coming off the wall. Okay, right across the street from this Godfrey Park, I just want to show you before I end this video. That's Godfrey Park. There's the tree line I walked, but right across the street, look at what someone did here. They got these beautiful mushrooms, but this is my favorite. There's like this little solar disco. I'll try to stay out of the way, but look what's happening here. I'll zoom in for it. You can almost hear them clanking around. I'll be quiet. Well, you know I can't do that, but there's a dog shaking a couple beers back and forth, like he's like getting it on. There's some kind of party going on here, right? If he's shaking beers, yeah, and look at, they got a disco ball, so they're all dancing under this disco ball. And right off the bat, you got this little guy dancing with the duck. They're getting it on. Look at, she's all happy, he's all happy. All these people are dancing with each other. The shark's dancing. The two flowers are dancing together. Somebody's thought of this. Whoa, what's that penguin doing? Hold your phone. You can't do that here. It's a dance floor. Whatever he's doing, that frog is liking it. So there you go. Aw, the dinosaur is too cool to dance. Look at him. He's just sitting there. While the flamingo, well, she's shaking her stuff. Isn't that funny? Look at the little Mexican cactus back there. Well, he could be Texan. It looks Mexican to me. All right, there you go. The little angel is looking out for him. Oh, here's some more mushrooms with some little squirrels or something there. All right. And if you can read that, you know what that says. Hi. All right, there you go. One last look at the little disco. Isn't that cute? That deserved a little camera time. To me, it did. All right. Well, here's a house for sale. This could be yours in the Bay Area. I'm sure it's probably about $1 million for that. So if you want to see what $1 million looks like, just call Rosemary. I don't know. Right here. That could be yours. Next to that. All right. Well, we did it all. We saw some, like a little disco back there at Godfrey Park. We saw some classic cars. We saw an old lady pushing her golf cart, not pulling. And we got out. That was the main thing, to get out of the house. You know, it's just so easy to sit in that house and feel the air conditioning and take naps and eat, and it's good to get out and take a walk. So as always, I want to thank you for coming along with me on these getting out and seeing things adventures. I started out with a tooth, and then I took my tooth out and then I put it back in. I don't know. All right, you know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. Yeah, I thought I would see more golfers. It costs too much money to golf. I don't know. Well, it is apparent. If you don't think crows can't recognize you. Oh, postscript, postscript. Yeah, if you don't think crows can't recognize you, think again. I'm at least a couple blocks away from my house, and these crows are following me. And I didn't throw any peanuts out. I do have a couple, but I will hold these peanuts in my hand. If these crows follow me around this corner, well, you know who's getting one. But yeah, one crow followed me from like a couple, maybe 3 blocks away. And I don't think it was a coincidence. Let's see if they keep following me. There you go. There they are, following me. Yep, here we go. I'm gonna get rid of them. See if they come for it. Oh yeah. I better quit feeding them. They're gonna be stirred up. All right, you know the drill. Crows will recognize you, and I've been gone for a week and they still recognize me, so feed a crow. You never know. Yeah, I'm still a block away from my house, and now they're all following me. So when I get home, I gotta feed them. Hitchcock would be proud. As a good man once said, Hitchcock would be proud. I wonder if they got to get their own well water.